what we had to go through. For you all.
Awesome. So for anybody who's showing up, comment below to let us know that you're here. Trying to make sure I see people.
The comments. Yeah, we can.
Are you seeing comments?
Yes, I see Jessica Ramos said, "Hey, girl."
Hey. Oh, hey, Jessica.
Hello.
Jessica's amazing.
Is she?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
New people. I think she just followed me.
All right, I think there's some people popping off. All right, so what's going on, guys? It's me, Lindsay here, and coming to you tonight with the Ecom Blitz webinar. Now, the reason why I want to do this, me and Amber we have been connected for quite some time on social media, but it just seemed as of recent, we have, been talking a lot more, and we have kind of like this, like really similar goals when it comes to e-commerce, keeping it simple and helping people to have success with it. And so we decided to do this webinar, and it's kind of like it's gonna be really off the cuff pretty much, right? Really off the cuff, because we just wanted to hop on something live. We wanted to share some information with you all, and if you guys have any questions, we definitely want to answer. But before we even get into that, I definitely want to introduce you all to Amber Lee. If you do not know who she is, she's this amazing chick right over here, or wherever you're looking at on the side of the screen.
You were pointing right.
And, before we go into any kind of e-com stuff, can you let people know a little bit about your story? Because I love your story. When I was in your group and I seen you post about it, I fell in love with it. So can you share a little bit about your story?
Sure. So, hey guys, like Lindsay said, my name is Amber Lee. I am originally from Louisville, Kentucky, currently living in Scottsdale, Arizona. I came online about 9 years ago. I was a single mom, and I was looking to make some extra money. I came online, had no idea what I was doing. I jumped in the MLM industry and didn't make a dime for 4 years. I tried to go at it alone. I didn't have mentorship. When I did have a little bit of money to invest, I didn't choose to invest in myself. And so the result of that was not making money for 4 years. After about 4 years, I kind of got a little smart, started investing, and I had a mentor that took me by the hand and showed me all the things I need to know on social media. I started making some money. I am probably like most entrepreneurs, it is a roller coaster and has been up and down for me. So last year in 2017, I had some devastating news. I kind of let it kick me out of the game. I had literally got to the point where me and a really good friend of mine, she was renovating her home, and I ended up staying with her, and I was helping her. I probably wasn't much help, but I was helping her, and we were actually staying in there with heaters, but we didn't actually have a heating system in it, and it was like the dead of winter in Kentucky. So about 6 weeks later, first of all, I got some really bad news around that time. And then about 6 weeks later, I got a phone call with the opportunity to come out here to learn Ecom, to kind of bring my digital marketing skills out here. And I jumped on it and went. I literally moved across the country, 24 hours away from where I lived. I sold everything I had. At that point, it wasn't a whole lot, but I mean, I sold my car, I sold my clothes, and literally moved across the country. I knew nobody in Arizona. I came with what I had in my backpack. And I'm also, like I said, I'm a single mom, so I actually left my son in Kentucky with my parents. I asked them to keep him until the end of school. I came out here. I finally figured out that I did know somebody here. After 2 weeks, she locked me out of the house. And I don't know, I just, when you have a burning desire and you know that you know that you know, you just kind of put one foot in front of the other. And I have learned everything I can about e-com in the past year. I have literally coached hundreds of people to get their first sale and beyond. I have stood in front of big crowds and taught. One of the big things that I'm known for is print on demand. But I really help people just kind of get started as beginners. But yeah, and I've launched my own agency. We have a brand new store that we just launched in April that actually did $35K in the first month. So, right? So, that's my story. I guess, like, if you're going through something, believe me, I know that I've been there. kind of put one foot in front of the other. When you know that you know that you know, you just know. So.
Right, exactly. And it really comes down to just making a decision and just moving forward. Like,
yep.
You don't have to know everything. You don't have to know every single step. Just know that it's going to work. Trust the process, have full faith, and just keep going pretty mumuch. And we it's almost kind of similar, like how we both got started with e-commerce. Like for me, I was just coming off the passing of my mother, and it was just a really tough year. And I decided to go to an event, and at this event, somebody told me, "Hey, Liz, you want to know how to make like $100 to $300 per day?" And I'm like, "Sure." Like, what is it about? And they told me, "Well, it's called Shopify." And I'm like, "Well, I've never heard of this before." But as soon as I got home, I found out about it, and I dove in head first. And my first 30 days, I did $10,000 in my first 30 days, and I was just completely hooked after that, of course. And just like you, I've helped a lot of people to get their first sales and things like that, because I think a lot of people overcomplicate, Shopify and getting started. And Shopify is very, very, it's simple to get started. Now, the advertising part may be, a little tricky here and there, but for the most part, anybody can have success with Shopify if they just dive in and stay in the process and keep going and keep testing and things like that. And don't give up. Don't give up. So with this new store that you have, is this your first store that you have done with e-commerce, or has it been like maybe a few that you may have failed at or something like that?
So this is my fourth store. My very first store, I did 7,500 in the first 3 weeks, and then it just kaput. On me. Now, in this time period, I was coaching and I was doing some other things, digital marketing. So I didn't put as much as I could have into the store. And then we started another store. We did okay with that. It kind of trickled in. And then we had another one that did pretty well. And then we just launched this one, and then my fourth store. So I've had quite the roller coaster.
Yeah, now see, I love that, because people think that they have to get it right on the money the first time out. And sometimes, you're going to bump your head a few times, but it's all a learning experience, and then you just kick butt the longer you keep staying in the game pretty much, right?
Exactly. I think people look at me and people like me and you, and they think that we don't ever have like difficulty. Like there have been days where I launched a product and it sold. I mean, it went crazy. And then like no sales for 2 days. And I was like, what is going on?
Yeah, I've had a lot of those too.
Right.
A lot of those, the crash and not like the crash and burns, but they start out so well and they go really high, and you thinking like, okay, I found the winning product.
Right.
It just crashes. And then what you do after that, you have to you just keep testing to find the next product. It's kind of like an ongoing process. And but I know, like, especially when I started e-commerce in 2015, like the fall. And I know it was really, really around that time, it just started going viral on social media.
Yeah.
Like Shopify e-commerce has been around for years, guys, right? Mm-hmm. But I think it had really just started going viral among like internet marketers or whatever. And I would say at that point, it was fairly easy to get started and have tremendous results right out the gate in 2015. So let me ask you, Amber, do you think there's a huge difference between, how people were having success with e-commerce in 2015 and between now? Like, do you think there's any kind of difference?
So yeah, I think in 2015, I think what you said, it's just like Facebook, like in 2008 and 2009, even 2010, it was like you could just put something on and your post would go viral. It was like really easy, right? It's kind of like what Instagram's doing right now. So you always have like those time periods. But what I think is really, really cool about 2018 is that e-com is not dead. I actually don't think that it's as competitive as it was last year in 2017, because the gurus have came and gone. So what happened in 2017 is all the gurus jumped on it, right?
Yeah.
Gurus that were in MLM or they were in digital marketing, they saw everybody was making money in 2017. So now it was, let's create a e-com Shopify product.
Yeah.
What I learned about that is, let's just be honest, a lot of those gurus had never even ran a store. And so it was the market got very saturated very quick with a lot of courses, and new people were being brought on. Well, what's happened now is the gurus have moved on, right? Which is really great for people like me and you who who have really built some successful stores, now we have the chance where we can actually take these people who may be struggling or people who have been kind of contemplating whether they want to jump in, and we can kind of take them through actual processes that are working, and it's a little bit easier because the competition is gone. So I actually think 2018 is the year to jump into Shopify, to be honest.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And guys, just a little heads up, if you see my eyes go over here, my camera is right here, my screen is right here, so I'm doing like a little back and forth. So I'm not a loony bin or anything. I'm just looking over here at the screen.
But I always like look at myself. So it's like I have to like remind myself, look at the camera. Look at the camera.
Right.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. And something else that I also noticed, like in 2015, guys, and if you caught any of my trainings back then, I even had YouTube videos, and I was telling people, hey, I didn't even spend a lot of time on my store. I said my store was really janky. I used one of the free themes inside of Shopify. I added some products. You know, I just went to testing immediately. And back in 2015, I will tell you guys, you could get away with that.
Yeah,
definitely. Do you think that people can get away with that now in 2018?
No, I think that is the game changer now. I think everybody is saying, well, is Ecom dead? Ecom's not dead, but the quality of your store is super, super, super important because, like I said, the competition of the gurus launching new courses and bringing like a heap of people in is gone. But you have a lot of Shopify stores that people are already operating. There's 500,000 Shopify stores, which is great because there's millions and millions of niches, guys. There's billions of products and billions of people. So I don't think that there's competition there, meaning that you can't get in and be successful. But I do think that you have to be super uber aware of your store, and the customer experience is where it lies. What I mean by customer experience is think about when you go to a site, right? And think about when you go to a site, it's easy to find your products, it's easy to click it, it's easy to find what the cart is. You go to the cart, you know that you can pay out with a secure checking that's either PayPal or maybe your credit card, and you go through it, and it was just an easy experience, right? Those are great. You're going to go back to that site. If you go to a site and you can't figure out where to add it to cart, you can't figure out where to find your products aren't in the right categories in collections, it's confusing. You're not only not going to go back to that store, but you're not going to buy. And so the customer experience is super, super important. I think that free things are great, but they can be very difficult to set up because they're free, right? So they don't have a lot of stuff to them. You can't add a lot of the stuff that allows your site to be optimized. And optimized for sales means that you have certain things that make people want to buy. It's like the buyer psychology, basically.
Yeah, I agree with that. And like I said, it's my personal opinion, of course, but I think with all the, people using like the free themes or whatever else, and don't get me wrong, if that's all you can do, totally understandable.
Right.
But I think, a lot of people, especially because a lot of people had used Facebook ads to promote their stores, that a lot of people are, they gotten smarter.
Mm-hmm.
They see the same kind of setup over and over and over again. And, they kind of raise the eye after a while or whatever else. So you definitely want to, set yourself apart from the pack pretty much is what I don't know what Amber is saying pretty much. So
just to add,
go ahead.
Can I add to that real quick?
Go ahead.
I think it's super important because let's be very transparent. There was a lot of people last year who jumped in the Shopify game, and they really weren't about the customer. And there were some people who ran stores who would have people buy and then not send out product, and people felt like they were getting scammed. So what happens is when you're using those same type of themes, they think that it's the same type of setup, right? Because your mind goes back to what's familiar. So what we do psychologically is that when we see something that hurt us from the past and it reminds us of that, we connect it to the same experience. And so they think that they're going to have the same experience, so they won't buy. That's why another reason it's very, very important. If all you can afford is the free themes, and I say go for it. But it's really important to kind of set yourself apart because unfortunately that was just the negative part of the game. There were some people who jumped in and did that, and it wasn't right, but it happened.
Yeah. all types of craziness was happening. But I think a lot of that was, you know, the learning curve.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I had got started, there was a lot of people who were already making money with it. But a lot of people were still learning. They didn't know how to scale. They didn't really know how to really design a store. So I think a lot of us was learning, and over time, and that's why in 2018, like how she said, it is a great time to be a part of, you know, e-commerce and build a Shopify store, because a lot of the roadblocks and headaches that came along with e-commerce a few years ago, you're not having to worry about that.
Right.
I think I was telling my sister the other day, like, even when it comes to, you know, if you're sourcing from AliExpress and you need to track an item to make sure it got to, you know, to the buyer, it's a way cleaner now.
Yeah.
And a lot simpler now, because before you couldn't even track.
No.
Like, they'll give you a tracking number, but I don't mean you can actually go and track it.
Right? It would be like stuck. It'd be like in transit.
Yes. And I was telling her, you know, I had a customer in Botswana, and I was able to go to a Botswana site and actually see, you know, track that package.
Exactly.
Before, back in 2015, it was no way possible I could have done that. It would have been a real messy process. So definitely 2018 is one of the best years for you to be a part of e-commerce and Shopify, because things are a lot cleaner, a lot smoother now. All the hard work and the headaches and everything else has already been done for you, pretty much, right? So also, guys, if you have any questions while we're doing this live stream, just comment below and we'll answer them throughout. But Amber, so I do want to share, want you to share with the audience. You had something that you have been working on.
Yeah.
And can you share with the audience what that is, actually?
Yeah. So again, I have coached hundreds of people to their first sale. And one of the things that we realized, and let me just tell this little story real quick. So when I was in that house that we were renovating, we still had Wi-Fi, and I was actually trying to build my first Shopify store. I was trying to do it on my own, and I actually got stuck, like literally for like 2 months, because even though Shopify is a drag and drop, I am not a designer. I'm not a graphic designer. Everybody that knows me knows I am creative when it comes to business and like thoughts and connecting with people. But when it comes to being creative, like drawing and designing stuff, I am not your girl. And so I was like, so Lindsay, you said that you created a very ugly store.
Oh yeah.
I was so bad I couldn't even create an ugly store. There was just like a no store. It was like,
yeah. One thing about ugly store, I chose one of the free themes. It was a supply theme, guys, too. And all I did was just change the color. That's what I call design. I just changed the color and I made my logo through Canva, and that was it. That's all I did.
I couldn't make a logo. I couldn't do, like, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. And then when I came out here to Scottsdale, I actually learned how to put stores together, and I got really, really good at it. But what I've noticed is that a lot of people really want to get into Shopify and e-commerce, but they can't seem to get past the building process.
Right.
And so what happens is, a lot of times, we all know this, we get very overwhelmed and very stuck. And so we sit there and we don't move forward. And one of the things that I've realized in my journey is that the only way to move forward is to figure out where we're stuck at, and then find someone or something that will provide that solution for you. Mm-hmm. So what I've done as an entrepreneur is that me and my team have provided the solution. So we decided to go in and we have built pre-built Shopify stores. What this does is, one, it doesn't just help you bypass the building of your store, but the next question that I get, actually the number one question that I get, is, what do I put in my store? How do I know that this is going to be a winning product? How do I know? And I think that's the hardest thing to teach.
It is.
Because sometimes instinct, you just can't teach it. You know what I mean? Like, like, I don't know. I just have a seller and buyer kind of connection in the instinct. And sometimes I just know. Sometimes I don't know, and I just put it up and try it. But a lot of times, like, I can just see and I just know. I think a lot of that is like knowing the audience and different things that you won't know as a beginner. Right. So what we did is we went and filled these stores with 20 products that we have researched. First of all, they're niche stores. And so we went and researched the niche. So now you no longer have to figure out, well, is this a profitable niche? All the niches that we have these stores built in we know are proven to be profitable. And what's really cool is they're not just like the dog stores and the cat stores, which those are great, but we went very sub-niche. But we have researched and know that there's still an audience on Facebook and social media for those stores. We've also put in 20, at least a minimum of 20 researched products that we know are proven to profit. We've also have a customized theme, which is really cool because nobody else will have these themes except for people who purchase these stores from us. And they're highly optimized, meaning at every experience, at every corner, the customer is going to experience something that is going to make them want to come back and make them want to buy while they're in there. And so that's what we have. We've also included my mentor. We've actually included his course in there, and his name is Robert Nava. A lot of you all might know him. He actually is featured, if you sign up for Shopify, he's actually featured in one of their emails. He did, I think I'm bringing the number down a little bit, but I don't want to lie, but I'm pretty sure it was like around 6 million. I've heard maybe 10 in 3 years.
That sounds about right. Because I actually went through one of his courses.
Nice.
In 2015. That course actually helped me to earn $20,000.
Nice.
I think at that time or around that time, it was like, I think they said that he was doing about 4 million with that store. So like the 6 or the 10 is, I wouldn't be surprised if it's either or. It sounds about right.
Yeah. So he's actually my mentor and actually one of my business partners as well right now. And so when I tell you, I think I'm a pretty good teacher, but he is pretty amazing. I mean, he knows how to simplify it. He knows how to take a beginner and really teach them the basics. Because I think a lot of times we forget, Lindsay, because we've been in it for so long that, we say optimized and we think everybody should know what that means, right? And it's like, okay, what does that mean? And basically a theme is just the layout of your store. It's the customer's experience. And so we've thrown that in. It is a beginner's guide for Shopify and Facebook ads to get traffic to your store. It's beginner and intermediate. And then for the first 20 people that decide to grab a store from us, I'm actually throwing in a free one-on-one coaching session with myself.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and that's basically what we have.
I definitely want to show you guys the site because I actually just I took a look at it and they have some amazing sites on here. So let me see if I can share my screen.
Yeah, I mean, they're beautifully designed. They were designed, these are not just thrown up, guys. These were stores that were designed by web design specialists. These are guys who actually create WordPress sites from the ground up. And that's literally what these Shopify stores look like. But yeah, and what's really cool is we even include blogs on them, Lindsay, which is, I think is pretty cool because it adds to your authority in that niche.
That, and then also it's, very important, not like important, but content marketing is another way that you can generate traffic for your store. So I'm trying to see if it's actually showing up right now.
Yeah, it is.
It is. Oh, awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, Tiffany, just catch the replay. Just catch the replay. So yeah, here's this, the website that she was talking about, and it's called Ecom. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit.
Let me see. Yeah, there you go.
Right. So yeah, I was definitely being nosy. And I was going through almost every one of these sites. And as you can see here, like she does have different, niche specific stores, right? So you have like a Dress Pretend, that's kind of like a Halloween type of store or whatever else. You have like a Party Central. One of my favorites is this one right here. It's called Youngster Costumes. I think it's so adorable.
Right. And guys, costumes sell really well, especially right now, because people do pre-buy their Halloween stuff. Like, you would be surprised. But I think these are so cute, especially for kids, because they dress up all the time.
Yeah. So like you see how everything is already laid out. Like she said, it already comes with products inside of it, guys, too. You don't have to worry about optimizing your product page, because guess what? It's done for you. These, the badges, which are really important for your product page, they already have those included. pretty much. So let me ask you, what about domains? Do if somebody was interested in this, do they have to provide their own domain for it?
So you will have to buy your own domain. So the two extra things that are a cost is that you will have to pay for the Shopify subscription. The really cool thing is, don't hold me to it, but I'm pretty sure on all of these stores, instead of, and I don't know, and maybe I'm just out of the loop, but isn't it normally like $29 for the basic now? Okay, so on our stores, it's actually $13 a month on the basic.
Oh, wow.
Right. So you have to have that, regardless whether you build your own store or not. You have to pay Shopify for hosting your store. So we get it for $13. And then what's really cool is if you're, I'm sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Oh, you will have to buy a domain, but you can get a domain for like $2.99 for the year most of the time. So they will have to get their own domain.
Awesome. So yeah, that's not bad at all.
No, and we do have preloaded apps. If you want below, I show you how to, so we have the spreadsheet of the products. So I show you how to load those into below once you get your store. I have a training on that. I also have is it okay if I tell them about my Facebook group?
Oh, go ahead.
So me and Lindsay, I have a Facebook group, and Lindsay is actually helping me in there. But it is called Ecom All-Stars, and that's where all of your support will come from. I am very, very, very active in there. People will tell you, I'm probably a little scary because I even inbox people. I'm like, hey, I saw you're just getting started. How can I support you? And they probably think I'm like trying to sell them something. But I'm very active because I really, this is kind of like my passion project. Like I said, I have an agency that I run as well. I also teach. And then we have the Ecom store. So this right here is really just me giving back. You're going to die when you see the price of these stores because they're so low, especially with like it almost like the cost of just the course. So they're so low. So this is just me giving back. This is me helping people, but I'm very, very active in that group over there. I do trainings. Lindsay's in there and she can attest for this. I do trainings almost every single day. I'm putting up a new video.
Yeah, I'm trying this one because I have okay, in my head, in another life, I'm an EDM DJ. So
I can see that though. I can see that.
This is my favorite one. Like I'm DJing at Ultrafest and everything. That's in another life, guys, in another universe. That's what I do.
I'm a real life unicorn is what I tell everybody. So you're a unicorn, you're a DJ, I'm a unicorn.
Yeah, so this is definitely my favorite one, guys. So like how she's saying, everything has already been designed for you. The products have been already listed inside of here as well. Yeah. And like I said, they're not like some random products or anything like that. They're really quality products that are being added inside of here. And like I said, the has the product information, everything inside of here, guys.
Yeah. And then also it has the prices already in there. Those are just suggestive. You can change them. Everything on here you can change, but especially the prices, you can change those if you want. You can go up and down. I suggested you test your prices anyways. But yeah, you can change all of that stuff. Those are just suggestive.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I'm pretty good at building stores, and I've never built anything that looked like this. Like our store don't even look like this enough.
Yeah, I've gotten better, but nothing like this.
Like our store looks great, but it's not like this. Like this is a high quality. This does not look like a Shopify site. People are not going to come here and think,
oh, I bought from here before.
Right. Or I'm going to get stamped. They're going to come here and say, this is a very well put together store. The experience in it is great. And it feels welcoming. It feels warming. It doesn't feel like janky, like, oh crap, they're going to take my money.
Yeah. And even when, like I said, in the beginning, when I was using one of those free designs that they offer inside of Shopify, you can tell people know that all these stores look very, very similar because if you log into your Shopify back office, you know that they can actually show you like some of the recently searched items of visitors who come to your store, and they will have like the same search, like the search terms or whatever else that I like. I'll have like multiple stores, and you'll see the same search terms in every store because they look so similar. So you definitely want to make sure that you're stepping up your design and separating yourself from the rest of the pack. You have to.
You do.
Have to. Definitely.
Especially online nowadays, because everybody, I mean, people are just, it's hard to trust, and so you've got to have a store that kind of builds that trust without you being able to look at them in the eye and say, I'm trustworthy, right? We don't have what Walmart has. We don't have that personal touch because we're online. So our store has to kind of give that touch.
Absolutely.
Right. I love this store. This is cool. It's like swings and stuff.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, I like this one too. So just to remind people, so if they were to purchase a store today, what are some of the bonuses that they will be receiving from you?
So they will get the Robert Nava's Ecom Elevate course, and that is a beginner and intermediates guide. You will learn, if you're a beginner, you'll learn how to navigate your store, you'll learn how to add products, you'll learn all that stuff. You also will get a free one-on-one for the first 20 people. You'll get a one-on-one 1-hour coaching session with me. And then you also will get one of these beautiful stores that already has products already in it. Look, Fidgety Cricket. I love some of these names that we came up with too. Like, we were cracking up because some of them are just so funny. Like, they're so entertaining. But these are great. I know, guys, here's the thing. I know fidget spinners were really, really big last year. So here is what's really cool. And I tell people this all the time because I had a baby store and there was a lot of things that were selling last year. And I've given those products to some people that are doing some stores that work with me, that I do some coaching with. And what's really cool is these products are starting to sell again, and it's because everybody stopped selling them. That is when you want to go into a market. When you don't want to go into a market when it's booming, because you're competing with everybody else. But if you were like, I would probably try to promote fidget spinners again. And you would want to do like, these are like really cool. They've got like a cool thing to them, like that block one, like they've got something cool to them. So it's really cool about some of these stores, and we've researched them already for you. And so that's one of the things that you'll get in the package is you don't have to go do the product research for your first 20 products. I have this question all the time, Lindsay, and you tell me if you do too or not, but I always have this question, like, how many products do I need in my store? Is 20 enough? 20 is enough, I think. I think 15 to 20 products is enough to launch. And then what we do is we add 5 to 10 products a week. So we try to add them twice a week, so that, because we have an email list. So when we send out to our email list, we want them to have new products to go look at, because we have a lot of customers that buy from us over and over and over again.
Yeah, right. So right. Yeah, absolutely. So also for those who take action and get a store, I'm actually going to throw in my own bonus. I have been redoing Ecom Diamond 2.0. That was like a really popular course that I had put out in 2016. It helped a lot of people to, make their first $1,000, their first $10,000 months and whatever else. And I have been in the background redoing that course. So you will actually get access to Ecom Diamond 2.0 as part of that bonus as well, guys. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead. What'd you say?
Diamond 2.0.
Ecom Diamond?
Yes, I want Ecom Diamond.
So I'm trying to see if anybody has any questions before we we move on. I'll let you know how to put. I would like to know how to put the names of the brands I have in my store on my site. But that's on the product page. I think on the product page, if you do like a edit, if you were to edit your product page, I think it's like in those little drop menus on the side where you can change the vendor name. So instead of just having your store name, you can put the actual vendor of that particular product. That's how you'll do that.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. That is correct. Mm-hmm. Ding, ding, ding. You got that one.
So let me see here.
I'm trying to see. I think like some of the, I can see some of the comments, but not all of them.
Did you mention private labeling? No, not in this training, Jim. We didn't do any private labeling. But that's something that you can definitely do, especially if you have a product that is just totally kicking butt in your store. You can definitely just connect with the supplier and, get a logo put onto it or whatever else. It's not a really difficult process as far as that part is concerned.
No, and I actually know some people personally over in China that will white label for you. So if you want to get into the group, Ecom All Stars, and ask that question in there, I'll actually help you. I'll give you some contacts on that.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, you can do that right off the rip. I think you can just contact a supplier over there and, you know, get your logo put on products.
Yeah, you can right away.
Yeah. Yeah. But I know like the people that I know, they wait until like, you know, they have like a really truly like winning product that their store is known for, and then they will end up getting their store brand labeled on it.
Right.
I'm trying to see. I don't see any other questions. I think most people are kind of just been paying attention.
Yeah, I don't see any questions. I know that we have a little bit of a lag, so they might come in just a second.
Hey, Donna, how are you? A lot of people saying hello.
I know. I see some of my folks over here.
Can you send the link to your group? Yeah, we'll. I'll actually post that once we're done with this training or this webinar. I'll put a link to Amber's group, because we're both inside of that group. So we'll both be helping you all as far as when it comes to e-commerce and things like that. So we'll post that in the group, and then I will also post a link to if you want access to one of these stores. If you want access to one of these stores, the actual bonuses, which is my Ecom 2.0, Ecom Diamond 2.0 training. Also private coaching for the first 20 people with Amber, and then also Robert Nava's Facebook course. And again, guys, Robert Nava is a beast when it comes to Shopify. He's a beast when it comes to it, and he has already done multiple millions with one of his stores. Yeah. So you're going to be learning from one of the top leaders inside of this space as well.
Yeah, he was one of the original guys. He is he's an original OG. He was doing it when nobody even was talking about Shopify.
Right.
Yeah.
What if I had an idea already for a store? Do y'all offer coaching to help me get it set up? Join the group. Join the group once we like I said, I'll put a link towards to that group once we're done with the training. Joel. Jim, what's your question?
Also, guys, if you all want to get, if you're on the fence and you're saying, well, I already have a store, I don't need a store, that's fine too. If you still want to get Robert's course, you can. I will give that link to Lindsay, and you all can reach out to her. We'll have that individually to be able to purchase in the next couple of days.
Right. Okay, I'm trying to see if Jim had a question, but like I said, may have that delay.
Another thing, Joel, too, is I know that you might already have an idea for a store. If you go visit the link that Lindsay gives, who knows, we might have that store in that niche. Also, if you all look on that page, if we don't have your store, there's an email address that you can email us at, and we actually will build you a store. Yeah, if we don't have one.
What's the best way to convert from a general niche to a specific niche? Just do it. Just do it.
I think what he's asking is does he need to take the products out? What I would do is, if you have a general store that is selling and it's doing well, keep the general store and then create a niche store out of that, because you know the products. The general store you can continue to test.
Yeah, test different niches. Yeah.
Right, because it has different niches. Now, if that store is not selling at all, I still would suggest to create a new niche store. But if you're going to do a niche store, there's no real way to just kind of go from a general. I mean, you're going to be doing a lot of hiding products, a lot of reconstructing, so you might as well just build a new one.
Absolutely. So let's see. I'm looking to add some ideas to go with my digital products. I'm looking at affiliate links for similar products. What do you mean? What type of digital products are you doing, Donna? Do you recommend starting over? So yeah, Jim, just how she said, just create a separate store for that particular niche, pretty much, and still have your main store, your general store, working for you.
Yeah. Let's see. I think I'm having a little bit of a lag. I'm not seeing some of these.
I'm trying to see if Donna gives like a update to her question. If not, then we can probably kind of wrap it up a little bit.
Okay.
And definitely, guys, if you're coming in late or whatever else, you can just catch your replay. Sure. I think I'll just keep it on my Facebook profile. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just do it like that, so it'd be easier for you guys to access the replay and everything. Just keep it really simple.
And then I'll share it over to. You know what? I probably should have done that from the very beginning. Shame on me.
You know what? I totally forgot to share it to. Like, I have 2 Facebook groups. They'll get it.
Right?
They'll get it. Yeah, I'll post inside of those groups as well, so they can catch the replay as well. And then if you watch the replay, you have questions, just comment below. Me and Amber, either one of us will respond to it as well.
Lord,
thank you, Patricia. Thank you. Okay, so if I don't see any other questions, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. So again, guys, at the end of this training, I will put a link to both the Ecom group with me and Amber inside of that group. Also a link if you want to go ahead and purchase you one of those stores and get access to those bonuses. And if you want to take advantage of that one-on-one coaching with Amber, trust me, guys, she knows what she's talking about. She is the bomb. And again, just how she mentioned earlier in the training that, you know, her store went to 35,000 in sales. Am I correct?
Yes, correct.
Within 1 month. Okay, yeah. So you're going to be learning from somebody who knows their shit.
And if y'all don't hear it, my Shopify is chinging right now because I'm making sales, but you probably can't hear it because it's turned it down. Yeah. I'm still the nerd who has like the Shopify app on her phone, and you're like, oh, money. Keeps me going. But yeah, guys, and another thing is only the first 20 will get the coaching. And this is not a ploy for you to go do it now. I'm really being honest. I have not opened this up at all. I have not really talked about it in my group at all. I have not sent it out to my list. I have not promoted. I actually want to give Lindsay's audience a first stab at it. And here's the thing is once a store is bought, it's gone. And we only have a limit of stores in each niche. So you want to go over there if you want to be able to have a choice of which stores you want to go over there and do that as quickly as possible. If you can't do it tonight, we understand, but you want to do that as quickly as possible. Or do it tonight, you know.
That too. So Donna, join the e-commerce group that we have mentioned, and we can kind of help you with that. With that question, we'll help you with that because I think because I promote the same things, but we'll talk about that inside of the group. So again, guys, thank you for attending this Ecom Blitz webinar. And it's there, like I said, it's been off the cuff, but I'm pretty sure that you guys got a lot of information. I love doing these type of webinars. I'm grateful that Amber was able to come on here and share some knowledge with you all. And again, guys, above this video, I'll put links to the group, the actual site where you can check out the different inventories of stores that they have available. And then also make sure you take advantage of those bonuses before they're gone, guys, okay? So until the next one, peace out.